Welcome to Unshackled. My name is Jo Draper. I'm a freedom and transformation coach, yogi, traveler, and ocean lover. If you're looking for soul-connected conversation, ready to raise your vibration and awaken to your fullest potential and purpose in life, then you have found your place. I will share tools, strategies, and inspiration on how you can build soaring confidence and create a life and a business that you are wildly in love with. Get ready to unshackle the chains that have been holding you back. Hello, my beautiful soul family. How are you doing? How is life? What is happening? I want to say before I begin today, I am loving connecting with you guys through this podcast. I'm loving the energy behind this. It feels exciting. There is so much positive feedback coming back, which I'm so grateful for, and thank you so much for sharing. And so many of you have been sharing the podcast on your social media channels, which I'm super, super grateful for. I cannot thank you enough. If you haven't shared and you are enjoying the content, please do make sure you share. Even if you just share to two people that you know could get value out of this, send them an email, send them a message, and share the message. What I'm talking about today, guys, is finding calm amongst the chaos. And I've got to just share with you, as I'm speaking right now, 3 dragonflies just flew past my window. I'm sitting here in Sri Lanka. I'm still in Unatuuna. And it's so funny, that name, isn't it? My friend's baby, she was sending me some voice messages the other day. And every time she said Unawatuna, the baby would crack up laughing. So it still makes me laugh. But as I'm sitting here delivering this podcast for you guys, these dragonflies have just flown by. And if you've done some of my masterclasses and trainings before, you would have heard me talk about dragonflies and the significance, and that being my spiritual animal when I'm looking from guidance from the universe. But let's do another podcast on this, actually, because I've got so much to say on that. But today we're talking about finding calm amongst the chaos. I had the most beautiful reminder of this yesterday in such divine timing. I caught the train yesterday morning to head to Colombo. Spent the day in Colombo, and then on the way back, I caught the train again, and I got into the train and everybody started pushing and shoving to get on there, and then I got in there and we were packed in like sardines. So I want to say, before I share the story, I have traveled on public transport all through India, throughout Asia. So I've had crazy situations. I've had people asleep on me. I've seen it all. I've had overnight buses with seats that don't fold down. I've traveled all the ways, and this train yesterday was such an eye-opener. We got onto the train. It was jam-packed. And then every stop, more people got on, to the point where people were just hanging off the side of the train as it was moving because they literally could not fit inside of the train. I am very claustrophobic. I do not like being in confined spaces where I cannot breathe and see. And as the train got more and more packed, I ended up completely surrounded with people. I had an elbow in the back of my head. I had people squished in against me on every side, and I started feeling very anxious, like on the verge this could turn into a panic attack if I let it. On top of that, I'm wearing my mask. So I pushed my way through and got closer to the edge of the train. So the door was open and I could see out the window and I could get a bit of fresh air. And so there were probably still about 4 guys in front of me. And as the train was going along, and here I am in this situation, just feeling quite anxious, very uncomfortable. It's hot, I'm bothered, I have a sore back, I'm standing on my feet. And I said to myself, well, this is actually the perfect time to practice mindfulness, to practice meditation, and to go internally. We think that to practice mindfulness or meditation, we need to sit in perfect silence, or sitting in the Himalayas on the top of a mountain, or we've got our little morning rituals set out with our nice candles and incense, or I'm in a yoga class and it's the perfect thing and this is the time for me to meditate. Yeah, that's beautiful. I love to meditate like that too. But what's even better is really pushing ourselves and being able to drop into this inner calm, this inner peace, no matter what is going on around us. And if you think about what is going on in the world right now, there is so much going on. There is so much unknown and uncertainty and chaos. And we can buy into that and we can get drawn into that and we can make ourselves feel depressed and unhappy and sad and anxious because what is going on. Or we can stay in true power, in true alignment, and continue to be the joy, to spread the joy, to feel the joy, to feel the love. So I'm standing on this train with an elbow in the back of my head, people pushing into every side of me. And because there's so many people, it's like a domino effect. So one moves and then everybody moves. And a few times I thought we were all going to fall out of the train. So I stood there, I closed my eyes, and I started breathing. I put my headphones in. And I just put on some really beautiful, relaxing music, and I can hear the people in the train. And I really just dropped inward, dropped into the heart space, and found this beautiful moment of this bliss, this inner peace, this calm, this serenity, this letting go, this surrendering. No matter what is going on around me, I choose to stay calm. I choose to feel peace and inner peace. I choose to be the sunshine on a cloudy day. I choose to be the calm amongst the chaos. We always have a choice. What we feel in that moment, so I was feeling anxious, agitated, stuck, claustrophobic, or I can choose peace in that moment. It doesn't matter what is going on, I choose to feel calm. And so in that moment, if I can feel stillness when there's so much going on around me, it was noisy, it was hot, it was very uncomfortable, but I could still drop in and find this inner peace. And we get the choice to do this every day. When we watch the news, when we hear the stories, when we have the conversations about everything that's going on in the world, okay, I can see that that's there, but I choose not to take it on. I choose to stay calm. Very funny story. So I stayed like that, standing, crammed in like that for over an hour. Dropping in, listening to the music, calming myself down, feeling this inner peace. And then a few more people got off and a few more people got off. And then eventually I could sit in the doorway and have some fresh air. And that was the best part of the whole ride. And then some more people got off. And then eventually I got a seat and I could go back inside. And I put on a meditation, a 20-minute guided meditation, and the train stopped and a bunch of people got off. And I just continued to sit there in meditation. And then I heard a knock at the window and this Sri Lankan guy was standing outside and he looked at me and he said, "What are you doing? Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "This train has ended." Maybe I dropped in a little too much. Still be aware of your surroundings. Very funny story. So the train had ended and we needed to get off and go on to another one. And I'm so grateful that he did that because as I got off the train, it was pitch black. We're experiencing power cuts in Sri Lanka at the moment, anywhere from 4 to 10 hours per day. And when the train had finished, we were right in the middle of a power cut. And when I stepped off the train, it was pitch black and there was nobody around, and we were in the middle of nowhere. It would have been quite scary if the guy hadn't got me, so I'm very grateful to him. And guys, just as I'm recording this, a bunch of jet skis have decided to fire up and go crazy. So I do apologize if there is any background noise, but also let's find the calm amongst the chaos. So that's happening and I can choose to get agitated by it and frustrated, or maybe I should stop the podcast and the recording, or I just roll with it and accept that it's there and I choose to find my inner peace. And sometimes it has absolutely nothing to do with our external circumstances that are causing frustration or agitation within the body. Sometimes we wake up and we feel frustrated, or something happens and it triggers us and we feel this level of aggravation. And this is coming from our internal thoughts. It's coming from internal thoughts and feelings, not what's going on externally. And when we find ourselves in these moments of frustration, anger, resentment, uneasiness, I feel uncomfortable, drop in, surrender. Take time just to really drop into the heart space and find this stillness. The more often you can drop in and do this throughout the day, the calmer you're going to feel, the more alert and switched on and awake you're going to feel. Become really aware of your triggers and things that are upsetting for you. So, there's a lot of news coverage about everything that's happening in Ukraine and Russia at the moment. And I've stopped watching the news. I was following it a lot and it was just making me far too upset. And some people might think that's ignorant or arrogant. But the truth is, me falling into that black hole of sadness and despair is not going to help anybody. And it doesn't mean we don't feel the sadness if it comes up, or we don't feel bad for people when they're in those situations. There is currently 11,000 Ukrainians stranded here in Sri Lanka right now, and I've had conversations and they've shared some really heartbreaking stories with me, and I am there and I fully feel it, and it is devastating and upsetting to me. But then when I leave that, I continue to choose to be happy and work on being happy and feeling joy and peace, because the whole world depressed is not going to help the situation. So we can feel things, we can give ourselves permission to fully feel. And I spoke about this in the last episode. It was about emotion and how we process emotion and identify emotion. But then it's also allowing ourselves to feel that and then bringing ourselves back down. So yesterday on that train, I could have stayed in that frustration, that feeling of stuck and I can't breathe, and this feeling of anxiety. Or I can choose, the situation is what it is. I am on this train. It is completely jam-packed with people, and I can just roll with it. And what an experience. I was talking to my Ayurvedic doctor this morning, and he said, "Oh, Jo, you don't do that. You make sure you catch the first class train." And I was like, well, no, because what an experience. I think these experiences make us richer, stronger, more resilient, give us such a better understanding of how things work for other people in the rest of the world. If you are new to meditation, or meditation is really uncomfortable for you, I hear this a lot. Jo, I can't meditate. I'm not a meditator. I'm not good at it. I just can't keep my mind still. And the people that can't find this stillness, find it really hard to find this stillness, are the ones that usually need it the most. So think about that. If you're resisting this, maybe you don't even like talking about this conversation is making you uncomfortable, like, no, meditation is not for me, you don't get it. Like, I do get it. Guys, my mind is so busy, and it still is. And the busier we are, the more we need this meditation. The more we need this duality. If we're busy and on the go and running around, the more we need the opposing emotion and feeling to bring us back down to this calm state. When we meditate, we're more alert, our brain functions better. It can help with illness and disease. It helps reduce negative emotions. It helps us be present in the moment. We feel happier. And also really helps with our imagination and creativity. And I know for myself, part of my morning ritual is often walking on the beach, and this is this is where my creative genius, my ideas are birthed. It's like when I'm being present and still. And even yesterday when I was in this chaos and in this meditation, and these ideas just flowed through me, because we allow ourselves to have this stillness, this peace, and get out of our monkey mind, the to-do list and the what's next, and pushing and going and moving and shoving. Just simply being. This is where the genius is, the magic is, the creativity is. So allowing yourself to have that space to let it flow through you. You don't need to sit there for hours on end. You can just sit there for a couple of minutes. Start with 2 minutes a day. Start with 5 minutes a day. Put on a really beautiful, peaceful song and just sit there and meditate to that. Meditate to the lyrics in the song. Just sit there and breathe. Send your breath awareness. Inhale, drop into the heart space. Exhale, drop into the mind. Inhale, drop into the heart space. Exhale, drop into the mind. Simple as this, simple breathing awareness techniques. Follow the breath in through the nostrils. Notice what lands in the body. And follow the breath back out. And just sit there doing that, just simply being. Not having to go anywhere, not having to do anything. Just for these next few moments, if thoughts pop up, give yourself permission. It's okay. I will deal with that thought in 5 minutes, 10 minutes when my meditation is finished. I can stress about that now. I can stress about that later. I don't need to stress about that now. Acknowledge the thoughts that will be there. Acknowledge the monkey mind will creep back in. But the more you do it, the more you can drop in. Practice makes perfect. Remember a couple of episodes ago, we talked about the decision-making muscle, and you need to build it consistently over time. It's the same thing with our meditation. Take time to practice. Take time to be still. The more you do it, the easier it will become. Like anything, practice makes perfect. And your meditation practice is probably never going to be perfect, but it's okay. It's not about sitting there in complete silence of the mind. It's finding those little bits of stillness between the thoughts, between the messiness, the chaos, the busyness. Just dropping in and finding those little moments of stillness. Where in your day can you take time to find those little moments? Sitting there with a cup of tea, sit there and drink it mindfully. Connect to the flavors, the taste, the sensations, the smells. Go on a walk and do it and be present. Take notice of your surroundings. So guys, I'm going to put this to the test, give you guys a little challenge. Where in your life is there chaos? Where in your life can you find your calm amongst the chaos? Maybe it's crazy hour with the kids when they get home from school. Maybe you work in a really busy office environment that gets chaotic. Maybe you catch public transport to work to and from it every day. Maybe it's in your own mind. You know there's a certain time of day or month or that time of the month where things get a little crazy, a little chaotic. The internal chaos. Can I just sit there and be with myself and be present during those times? When I sit there and I watch the news and I feel heartbroken by what is going on in the world, can I stop and just drop in and take a couple of minutes, a few minutes of meditation, drop into the heart space? What do I feel grateful for? Let me know how this lands, guys. Let me know where you're going to put this into practice. Where is the chaos in your life, and how can you put this calm amongst the chaos into your life? Drop me a message over Instagram. I am Jo Draper. Please share this. If you have listened to this podcast, if you've got something out of it, please share. Share it with 2 people. Send it to a couple of people you know that could benefit from it. I'd be so grateful. Sending you all the love, team, and we will connect again soon. Take care.